Let's get him on it.
Hang on. First, I will respond to Professor Naeem. Because she says, I do not know about Kounsarnag Yatra. Possibly because she is a student of whatever English or whatever she teaches in Kashmir University. She should know her own text. Nilmat Puran is history. This is history, and Lord Tarangani is history. This yatra has been carried out for thousands of years, even before Islam came to Kashmir. What world is Naeem living in? She is talking.
What facts do you have to support it? Why are you giving relevant color to all the issues? Why are you creating polarization in Kashmir?
There is an Aharbal Development Authority which is asking people to come, hike, camp, do whatever you want to do. And how would the water of this canal get disturbed? Please tell me, Naeem, because you cannot even take a dip, you will die. It is not a lake where you can even take a bath. It is not a lake where you can even put your feet in. Have you ever been there? What kind of nonsense are you propagating on national television? Have some shame when you are lying. Please have some shame, for God's sake, when you are lying.
And unfortunately, Hamida Naeem, I want to ask you, don't you even know the history of your state, or do you believe that the history of your state... Do you think, Hamida Naeem, are you so ignorant?
She is talking nonsense all the time. And this other chap, whatever his name is, I don't know what his name is.
Tausif.
You know, this is not institutionalization of Yatra. How is institutionalization of Yatra happening if 50 people are going? When thousands of them are, there are 5,000 houseboats in Dal Lake. Dal Lake has shrunk to 50%. Buller Lake to 45%. Wetlands in Kashmir are 24% of what they used to be in 1970.
You cannot put down with your nonsense rhetoric.
This doesn't worry this lady who keeps shouting into our ears all the time because they have to listen to our nonsense all the time.
Please.
She should simply be asked to shut up.
This is a colonial agenda in which you are trying to Hinduize the entire Kashmir. That's what you are doing.
This is not Hinduizing.
This is not Hinduizing.
This is our land as much as it is yours.
You see,
okay, we have a right to go wherever we want to. And people like Geelani, monsters, they cannot stop us from going where we want to go. You have no right to say, tell us where to go. You drove us away from the valley. So you have no business giving pontificating to us. We don't care about whatever you say. But for Omar Abdullah, we would have taken this yatra.
You see, this in Pakistan, Hamida Naeem, I want to ask something. I want to say something to Hamida Naeem. No, I want to say something to Hamida Naeem. I want to say something to Hamida Naeem. May I have the permission? Brajesh, I'll come to you. Brajesh, I'll come to you.
Nobody is going to take this.
One sec. Brajesh wants to say.
Nobody has seen crowd is going there. Individually, people will go, or in small groups, there will be no problem. But
the institutionalization of Yatra is
every problem.
Okay, one person at a time.
People from Biscu school are going there for hiking. Are you unaware of what is happening around you? Or you are always wearing the shroud and not knowing anything that is happening in Kashmir Valley? Are you sleeping or what? You don't know people are going there. There is an Aharbal Development Authority. For God's sake, go and check that authority site. They are promoting tourism.
You are creating only non-issues over here.
You see, Hamida Naeem and Tausif, I want to say that. No, one second. First of all, no. Hamida Naeem and Tausif, just 1 minute, hear me. Hear me now. Now you hear me. Now you hear me, all of you. Hear me 1 minute. Please hear me for 1 minute. 1 minute, just 1 minute. Hear me, please. Hamida Naeem, please, I'll tell you something. Hamida Naeem, hear me. Hear me. This will be interesting. You're a professor at Kashmir University. Hamida Naeem.
What does that mean? I have to take all nonsense.
Miss Hamida Naeem, you please listen to me. Listen to me. Miss Hamida Naeem, you see, there are some generals and retired generals. No, one second. Miss, just give the 30 seconds. I listen to you quietly. Now you listen to me. There are some generals and retired generals. And sitting in Rawalpindi and Islamabad. They want to look at you know these.
Arnav, please listen to me. Nothing is more insulting for Kashmiri.
You have been talking too much of nonsense. Nobody is here to listen to you. You are talking nonsense. You are talking absolute nonsense from the moment you have come.
Miss Hamida Naeem, I must tell you this, that you cannot allow. No. 1 second, Miss Naeem, you don't know history. You don't even know the history of your own state. And I can prove to you now. I think I can prove to you, Miss Hamida Naeem. Miss Naeem, today I said to Tausif at the start of the debate, and I hope you just keep. Can we just pull back for a minute? Can we pull back for a minute? Just pull back for a minute. Just give me 30 seconds.
We have our own identity.
Yes, you don't know what's Miss Naeem. Now let me tell you this. Let me tell you this, Miss Naeem.
And these are all colonial.
Miss Naeem, you listen to me.
The identity you are talking about. Why are you naming this identity as a Muslim identity to which we object?
Kashmiri identity. This is a secular country.
No. In fact, Syed Ali Geelani says that it is a Muslim identity of Kashmir. And in fact, Hamida Naeem is relating the same fact. She is also saying we're talking about a Muslim identity. Why can't we talk of a secular identity? Why such sectarian voices? Why such divisive voices?
Pandits are welcome here. Come, let them comment here, but don't create this.
Now I'll tell you.
Professor, you are a professor. You are supposed to be a learned person. But the way you have a sectarian voice today shows... No. You cannot call Kashmir as a Muslim identity. Why?
Muslim identity.
No, what do you mean what? What do you mean what? For the first time in this country, and I believe nowhere in the world this has happened, that our own people have become homeless. The Kashmiri people, our own people have become homeless.
No, you see, Miss,
in their own country.
One second.
You are a professor.
One second, Miss Hamida Naeem, Miss Hamida Naeem, I have three facts. Three facts. Miss, 1 second, 3 facts, Hamida Naeem. Now you must listen to me. I heard you, Professor Hamida Naeem. I heard you. Now you hear me. Now you hear me, Professor. You hear me, Professor. And please don't interrupt. Please don't interrupt when I'm telling you, because you have to hear me now. You have to hear me now, Miss Hamida Naeem. I heard you, Professor. I heard you. Now let me tell you 3 facts.
Arnab, how many times you have taken up
Miss Professor Hamida Naeem, I am going to speak regardless of whether you want to listen to me or not, and I want to share this with you. If you 1 second. I want to educate the professor about the history of Kashmir, which unfortunately she wants that history written in Islamabad. The history of Kashmir will not be written in Islamabad by some ISI generals. You want the history of Kashmir to be written. You want the history of Kashmir to be written by your Pakistani benefactors of the pro-Pakistan separatists. The history of Kashmir. Then go and tell. No, Professor Hamida Naeem. Professor Hamida Naeem. Professor Hamida Naeem, I want to tell you 3 facts. You go and you call Geelani tomorrow and you tell him 3 things. 1 second. 3 things. Now if you don't want to hear...
Take Geelani out of it, take Pakistan out of this, a people's issue.
Now will you listen to me or will you not listen to me? 1 second. Can everyone stop? I'm asking you. Will you listen to me, Miss Professor? Will you have the patience to listen to me?
This is a managed opposition. This is a managed sectarian opposition. Professor, this is a managed sectarian opposition by people like you, by separatists like you.
I'll tell Professor Naeem 3 things. No, Brajesh, 1 minute. Brajesh, 1 minute. Brajesh, I have to share this.
Make my opening comment.
Brajesh, you need to come out, not come in. No, Brajesh.
Okay, Brajesh Kalappa can come into next, and Brajesh. What's up? Sambit, please. Brajesh Kalappa is coming to the debate, and I'm sharing 3 facts which the generals in Rawalpindi will not like. One prominent historical. Miss Naeem, if you listen to me, you learn about your own state. You better learn about your own state. You don't even know anything about Jammu and Kashmir. You are sitting in Srinagar and you don't know the history of Kashmir.
These are your facts.
You don't know the history or the ecology of Kashmir.
I will give her a copy of Raj Sarangini.
Then you should know that the prominent...
Had you known the ecology of Kashmir, you would never support the Yatra. You would never support the Yatra.
I'll tell you 3 things, Tausif. Let me tell Tausif 3 things. I'll share 3 things with Tausif. Can I just have Tausif on air, and I want to share 3 things with him. 3 things about this Yatra I want to share. I want to share with Tausif because Professor Hamida Naeem will not have the patience to listen to me. So I want to share it only with Tausif. Can a professor? Tausif, listen to me now. First point, Tausif. First point. I don't believe that as an Indian citizen in a secular country, right, I can allow the history of my country and the history of any part of my country to be written in Islamabad. I think it's an insult. We won't allow it. One. 3 facts. You can go and tell Professor Hamida Naim, she doesn't want to listen to me, but you can share it and you can go and tell Geelani this. Prominent historical text Neelmat Puran mentions the Kounsarnag Yatra as Vishnu Pad being a pilgrimage site for centuries. Point number 1. Point number 2, in 1942, the well-known ornithologist Samsar Chand Kaul wrote in detail about his annual expeditions to Kounsarnag Lake, which has a religious significance for Kashmiri Pandits. 3, only post 1990, it was not a regular yatra. And why wasn't it? Because the same pro-Pakistan terror elements created trouble for it. Now we want to
can I come into it?
So this is the history of Kashmir, and I am telling you.
Can I come into it?
No, just one last thing, and then you can come in. One last thing. You see, Tausif, understand this. The history of Kashmir is not the history of a Muslim Kashmir. The history of, or a Hindu Kashmir. The history of Kashmir is the history of a more accommodative culture, which these the
history of Kashmir
fundamentalists sitting in Rawalpindi, the paymasters of Geelani will never understand.
Can be seen in the statement of Mahatma Gandhi, who said that he sees only the ray of hope coming from J&K.
I've given
the communal harmony.
I've given.
Now you are telling about the history of this Kounsarnag Yatra. We know the details of the Kramsara Vishnu Pad Yatra. Yes, I do agree. It has been a trekking.
So I'm glad you agree. I'm glad you agree.
A place of religious significance for our Hindu brethren. That is completely
so respect
accepted.
Respect
but the thing is, look, we have to understand this subtle nuance, Mr. Goswami. I would like to have 5 to 10 seconds for this, if not a minute. We have to understand this subtle nuance. We are not against the Yatra, but the institutionalization of Yatra. Before, during 1980s or up to 1940 that you were talking in the historical perspective, I would like to tell you only one thing, that the Yatra used to be carried out on the individual level. It was not a generalized or an institutionalized kind of thing. 5 to 8 Pandit brethren used to move there, used to do puja on Naag Panchami, and after that they would return. All right. Now we are seeing what DDC Reasi has been telling. He has been calling the tourism officials and saying that you need to put on the hoardings and you need to popularize the Yatra after Vaishno Devi. Now, we should not give it a religious color. Come on, we are known for our communal harmony, and please do not entertain such elements who are trying to and give it a communal color.
I feel Geelani is the one person which you should, the one person all of you should get together and boycott is this character Geelani. You just boycott the man, make him irrelevant. Don't fall into his trap. Don't fall into his trap. Be accommodative. This is a secular country. It will never become. This is a secular country where we respect all religions.
I might tell you, Mr. Goswami, with due honor and respect to you, Mr. Geelani, whom you call that you don't know, a communal element, a polarized element, a puppet from Pakistan, he is the leader who has the mass following in Kashmir. You cannot deny the fact. We can also not deny the fact that majority of the leaders from India yearn to talk to Mr. Geelani on the table
I think he's a completely.
We already know.
I think everyone who knows has seen through his thing.
This is the time when we need to go for confidence.
Tausif, you can be an official sycophant of Geelani. I think Geelani is pro-Pakistan. I think it is irrelevant. I think he plays no positive role. I think he's a pinprick in bringing peace in Kashmir, and I think he's very much on the payrolls of Pakistan, and you can tell him that. 1 second. Brajesh Kalappa is responding because people like Geelani are the biggest problems in your state. The day you realize you don't need him, the situation in Kashmir will improve. And Tausif, break away from such venomous characters like Geelani. He is a venomous character. Break away from him, please. Brajesh Kalappa is responding now.
The first thing I'd like to say, Arnab.
Yes.
The first thing I'd like to say, Arnab, is that Hinduism has existed long before the RSS, and Hinduism has done very well for itself. Islam similarly has done very well for itself, even without Mr. Geelani.
Absolutely.
So both these elements have to be kept aside. The first thing that has to be understood is that whatever happens, whether the Kounsarnag Yatra takes place or it doesn't take place, The point is, the first thing that should be ensured is communal amity and communal harmony, and both these communities should work together to see to it that the yatra comes into life again.
I think then, Brajesh,
and two, insofar as having options, the easier option, the better option, the more suitable option should be offered to the pilgrims who want to take part in the yatra. There is no doubt that this yatra is an existing yatra. So the pilgrims must not be put
so then you like to show documents, I do too.
This is our stand.
That's all right.
This is our repeated stand that the pilgrims must not be put to any inconvenience. They must be provided security. They must be provided comfort throughout their journey. This is our stand.
Well, Brajesh, you're not the only person who can show papers. There, you showed a paper, you wrote something there. Now I'm showing you a paper which is the clearance given by your government, right? Or to this yatra. This letter proves today, and the date is very clear. You can see the date out here, 21st of this last month, right? So my point is, this proves that the clearance was given by you, and you went back. Now, I think even if he is weak and ineffective and, perhaps not capable of holding the position which he held for all these years, even in that case, Omar Abdullah is the Chief Minister, not Geelani.
Your basic point is
Omar Abdullah is the Chief Minister, not Geelani.
You have much to say about Geelani.
Well, you know what the romance of democracy is? It is shaped by public opinion.
This is not a RSS yatra. What are you talking about, Brajesh?
You have everything to say about Geelani.
This is not a RSS yatra. This is not an RSS yatra. Don't make up facts. This is not a RSS yatra. We take on the RSS when required. This is not a RSS yatra. This is not an RSS yatra.
If they were genuine Kashmiri Pandits, they would have worked out the system by themselves.
No, you be careful of what you're saying, sir. This is not an RSS yatra. Mr. Kane is responding. Mr. Kane.
Simply, you are blatantly lying. I am a Kashmiri Pandit and I have nothing to do with RSS.
Okay, gentlemen, now I'll just say this. Remember one thing. Caving in is as bad as provoking a situation. Hamida Naeem.
I can't say the same about all the other people.
Hamida Naeem, remember, Hamida Naeem, this is a secular country, right? Secular country. And every part of this country is secular. Every person is expected to be secular. Hamida Naeem.
But Hamida Naeem is communal for sure.
Hamida Naeem, end your communal agenda, Hamida Naeem. You're a professor.
Fanatic.
As soon as the BJP government has come, it has left no stone unturned to give the feeling that this is a
Miss Hamida Naeem, we'll debate this another day. But learn to respect the country in which you live. Thank you very much for joining me on debate number 1. Should the yatra go on? Please tell me what you think. We are going to follow the story. And I'm going to, one second. Thank you all very much for joining me on debate number 2 on the Newshour tonight.